Here is the actual requirement from the Philippine government. The requirement of a travel insurance for all foreign nationals, including former Filipino citizens, foreign spouse, foreign child, and foreign tourists. All foreign nationals must obtain prior to arrival a travel insurance for COVID-19 treatment costs from reputed insurers with a minimum coverage of $35,000 for the duration of their stay in the Philippines. This was outlined under Interagency Task Force number 160B. I understand that there are so many former Filipino citizens or balikbayans who are senior citizens, and this travel insurance is being required. Who are exempted from the requirement of a COVID travel insurance in the Philippines? For all Filipino citizens and dual citizens, travel insurance is not required. However, to tell you the real scenario in the Philippines, even if you have a COVID travel insurance, you will still have to pay out of pocket when you are admitted or hospitalized. This is because most clinics or healthcare providers or hospitals in the Philippines will require a deposit or a money upfront before admitting you or before you can avail of hospital services. This is common knowledge in the Philippines. You need to have money to be admitted as a patient. Regardless whether you have an insurance coverage or not, you will have to pay out of pocket. You must confirm with your travel insurer if you can be reimbursed after paying upfront or paying full price for the hospital expenses. I would recommend to bring extra money or cash for unexpected medical expenses in the Philippines. Although the healthcare cost may be lower compared to Western countries, you will still have to shell out money before getting reimbursed from your selected travel insurer company. However, in the unfortunate situation that you are unable to pay your medical bills because you are running out of money or you are in financial need, please take note of this very important law. Some hospitals will require you to sign a promissory note so you can pay your bills and you can be discharged even if you haven't fully paid all your medical expenses. However, some hospitals will require you to stay longer because of the non-payment of medical services. Please take note of this very important law in the Philippines. There is a law, Republic Act number 9439. So what is this law in the Philippines? This is an act prohibiting the detention of patients in hospitals and medical clinics on grounds of non-payment of hospital bills or medical expenses. Let me provide you the specific provisions of this Republic Act number 9439. I'm going to explore the provisions of this law and make sure that you are able to protect yourself. Section 1. Let's discuss this. It shall be unlawful for any hospital or medical clinic in the country to detain or to otherwise cause, directly or indirectly, the detention of patients who have fully or partially recovered or have been adequately attended to or who may have died for reasons of non-payment in part or in full of hospital bills or medical expenses. Some hospitals in the Philippines will unlawfully detain you for unpaid medical expenses, so make sure to know these provisions. Let's move on to Section 2 of RA 9439, so pay attention. Patients who have fully or partially recovered and who already wish to leave the hospital or medical clinic but are financially incapable to settle in part or in full their hospitalization expenses, including professional fees and medicines, shall be allowed to leave the hospital or medical clinic with a right to demand the issuance of the corresponding medical certificate and other pertinent papers required for the release of the patient from the hospital or medical clinic upon the execution of a promissory note covering the unpaid obligation. This means that you can execute a promissory note. Okay, so the promissory note shall be secured by either a mortgage or by a guarantee of a co-maker who will be jointly and severally liable with the patient for the unpaid obligation. In the case of a deceased patient, the corresponding death certificate and other documents required for interment and other purposes shall be released to any of his surviving relatives requesting for the same, provided, however, that patients who stayed in private rooms shall not be covered by this act. This means that if you're unable to pay, you must find a guarantor. Okay, for the penalties, any officer or employee of the hospital or medical clinic responsible for releasing patients who violates this act shall be fined by not less than 20,000 pesos and not more than 50,000 pesos, or imprisonment of not less than 1 month but not more than 6 months. If you have any other questions or comments, please post them down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you guys for supporting my channel, and if you haven't liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. I always welcome new subscribers. Thank you guys for supporting my channel. I hope everyone is staying safe and have a great day.